You got it. Yeah, that's our boy Nelly, University City native, and he's singing with Florida Georgia Line in a remix of their single Cruise. Nelly is joining us this morning. He's talking Mike and Ike and all that's going on with him this morning. And Nelly, we can't necessarily say that country's all that new to you. I mean, you had Country Grammar. Okay, maybe that one doesn't count. But you did do Over and Over Again with Tim McGraw, and now you're doing the remix of Cruise. Are we going to see a little more pop country from you?
Who knows? I feel real fortunate that I'm able to, kind of broaden that horizon and do music, not just for myself, but for everybody. It's a great thing when you can touch so many people at once.
Yeah, what do people here in St. Louis tell you, Nelly? What do they want to hear you doing? I mean, they want to see you out. They want to see you everywhere and doing everything, I think.
Right. Well, everyone has their own perception about the Nelly that they love, and that's one of the hardest things, is trying to please everyone at the same time. Sometimes you get around to get into different variations of what people come to love of you.
All right, we're talking Mike and Ike this morning, and you have Donald Houston joining you there as well, the marketing director. And I tell you, I started to cry when they broke up. I mean, this was really traumatic for a lot of people. I did side with Mike because I like the Red Rages very much, but I'm glad to hear they're back together. And Nelly, how are you involved in all this?
You know what? I've been eating Mike and Ike's candy forever. I probably spent a lot of money on Mike and Ike's candy, so I think it's only fair that I have a say in this. It was one of those things where I kind of called both of them up, set them in the room. I'm glad you sided with Mike, and that proved my point. That kind of proved my point when I was trying to explain to him that he needs to leave the music alone and get back to making candy. And, I set him in a room, and I kind of got those guys to understanding that they need to be doing what they do best.
I got you. So what is your favorite kind, Nelly?
I like the original. I grew up on the original. It's the ones that I eat almost, every other day. It's at the shows, it's it's in the studios, it's on the tour bus, it's everywhere.
It's in your dressing rooms. All right, so Donald, what can we expect now that these two are back together?
Yes, well, there's a lot going on. And when we talk about the return of Mike and Ike, so it's been about a year since they split and got back together. We have folks, the celebrity stature of Nelly involved in it. You'll see next month or so, there's a movie trailer that'll hit national TV that really chronicles their split and reunion in a Hollywood-style movie theme. You'll also see on mikeandike.com, there's just so much going on, whether it's social, from a video clip and in social media. You see little snippets of their adventures over the past year. You'll also see some clips with Nelly, who did some things with radio personality Angie Martinez. You'll see that on the Facebook page. You'll also, definitely in St. Louis, you hear on the radio, Nelly did some radio spots. And so we're having a lot of fun. There's also a promotion where folks can win, of course, free Mike and Ike, but you can also win an entertainment center. So we really have a lot going on to really celebrate the return of Mike and Ike.
Do we know why they split in the first place, gentlemen?
Well, I'll start off, and then Nelly can probably bring his perspective to it. It was one of those things where, if you're successful for a while, people tend to get anxious and want to do things their way and not realize it was the both of you together. So they actually had creative differences, how they wanted to make new candy, what it would look like, what flavors, and they split and they pursued their own interests. Mike looked and tried to pursue music and music production. Ike, and he was off doing artwork.
All right.
Yeah, so in other words, they both got Hollywood.
Exactly.
Nelly, you don't know anything about that, do you?
Nah, not at all.
Right.
But no, I thought you hit on it right at the top. Nelly knows he sticks to what he does best.
That's
Mike
right.
and Ike needs to stick to what they do best, and everybody wins.
All right, very good. Donald Houston, Nelly, we love you here in the STL. Thank you both for joining us.
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
All right, stick around. More ahead on the 9 a.m. I'm going to go for what it's still Mike. It's still my favorite.